Hey everyone, Jessie here from Jessie on a Journey, coming to you live from my apartment in New York City. Today I am going to be going through my notes here. I have 10 things you can do to drive traffic to your blog as well as sales. Now, if you are just tuning in for the first time, I've been doing these little mini Facebook Live workshops for the past 6 weeks or so to get everyone excited for the launch of my brand new travel blog prosperity program. It is a membership-based program where every month we focus on a different travel blogging topic. We get really focused. So June will be all about branding. We're not just going to talk about branding in passing. We're going to dive really deep so that at the end of the month, everyone in the course leaves with an actual blog brand style guide that they can use for the rest of their blogging career. So today we'll be talking about traffic. I actually have a list of things that I do every time I publish a post, things I do before and then as well as after. So 2 different checklists. And actually, if you subscribe to my mailing list, I provide those checklists for you in case you want some ideas. So once I repost this video, I will share that link for you so you can grab that. But in month 1 of Travel Blog Prosperity, we will be making a list together so that you have one for yourself to use, for the rest of your vlogging career, as I said. So the first tip I wanted to say is it's really helpful to actually have a purpose that's helpful to your audience. So if your blog is about budget culinary travel, you want to make sure that your posts help to solve this purpose. You don't want to then write about a photo essay in Central Park because that won't really be relevant to your audience. Your audience likely won't get it. They'll be a little bit confused. It's not quite on brand. So the more you stay on brand and you commit to your mission and have a purpose to help your readers with every article, the more that they will feel compelled to share it. Number 2, optimizing your post for SEO, which is search engine optimization. So when you write a post, you want to be very organic with what you're writing. You want to stick to your mission. But you also want to try to think about how you can help that post rank higher in Google search. So one way to do this, the easiest way to do this, is if you have WordPress.org, install a plugin called SEO by Yoast, and you'll choose a keyword for the post. This keyword is essentially what someone might search on Google to find this post and actually be interested in it. So if I was writing a post on things to do in New York City, things to do is very general. I don't know that someone searching things to do would really resonate with everyone searching it. Instead, something about New York City and the things to do here would be more on target. So, showing a low battery here. So the more you rank in search, the more people find your post, the more relevant it is to their search, the more likely people will be to share it. As well as to, if you promote a product or service within your post, they will be more likely to buy it or engage with it. Number 3, have a great headline. So you could write an amazing post, but if the headline is pretty meh, people aren't going to click on it and they won't see that content. So I recommend using a tool called the Headline Analyzer. It's by CoSchedule, CoScheduler. So CoScheduler's Headline Analyzer. You can put in a title that you're thinking about, and then CoSchedule will come back with a rating as well as tips to improve the headline. So having great headlines means that your content gets looked at more and has more of a chance of being shared, of having people actually click on it. The 4th tip I wanted to say is install the SumoWe plugin. I'm obsessed with this plugin. I use it to add social media sharing buttons to every post, among other things. One thing I noticed that a lot of bloggers don't do is, they have the social media sharing buttons, but they have them hidden at the bottom or really tiny at the top, so people have to scroll back up to share. I have mine just at the bottom, and as you scroll down the post, they kind of never leave. So they're always there. So if midway someone's like, I already love this, I want to share, or they get to the bottom, the buttons are really clear and they're really easy to click and share. The fifth thing is to add social media friendly graphics and make them clickable. So I use SumoWe for this as well. They have a tool within the plugin called Image Sharer. So if there is an image in my blog post, there will be buttons on top of it to pin, Facebook share, or tweet that post really easily with one click. I also add Pinterest graphics into my post. I like to add one giant graphic at the top. It's vertical, of course, for Pinterest. If I'm promoting any freebies or a giveaway in the post, I add that into the graphic to make people more likely to click onto it. You know, if you're on Pinterest and you see a post on things to do in Puerto Rico, and then you also see that the post is giving away a free trip to Puerto Rico, I would highlight that in the pin. Some people like to put their pins on the bottom and say something like, you know, if you like this post, pin it, and the graphics are already optimized for social media, so it's good to go, less work for everyone. No one has to make a graphic or pin something that's not really optimized for Pinterest. I like to also use Better Click to Tweet to add clickable tweets to my post. So, you know, you have your title at the top, and then within it, I'll add a couple other clickable titles. I'll ask a question. Going back to the Puerto Rico post, maybe I'll say, have you been to number 4 on this Puerto Rico attraction list? And hopefully get people to want to click over and see what number 4 is. So just you can add a few other phrases, not just repeating the title, but a few other potential titles, questions, and sentences, phrases that would look great on Twitter and encourage people to share and click them. Number 7, I always like to add a call to action in a post. So maybe that's subscribing to the mailing list, maybe that's sharing the post, maybe that's clicking through a packing list that's associated with the post. Get people to take that next step. And there's plugins that automate this. Right in my theme, at the bottom of every post, it encourages people to subscribe. There's plugins that do that. At the top of every post, I use What Would Seth Godin Do? And it says, you know, if you like this post, please subscribe to my mailing list, share it on Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter. So that just shows up every single time. And think about what you want people to do. You know, I said before, if you like this post, pin it with the Pinterest graphics at the bottom is really helpful. So just think about what next step you want people to do. There are, I think it's another related post plugin. There's a few of them that will show related posts under your blog, under a blog post. So encouraging people to stay on the site. But get them to take a next step. Have a purpose with your blog post and think what logical next step would someone reading this blog post take and that you want them to do as well. Number 8, I like to email brands and bloggers mentioned in posts. So after a post publishes on my blog, I will email every brand mentioned within the post, every blogger mentioned, everyone that was a source in the post. And I'll not only do that, but I'll go a step further. I'll include links to shares we've already done. So, you know, click here to retweet it, click here to upvote it on Reddit. And then I'll also include a social media graphic for them to use. So I make it really, really easy for them to also share this post and be like, hey, we were mentioned. And that is super, super, super. That's one of the biggest changes I made last year. One of the best strategies I started using last year. And it just increased traffic so, so much. And the final tip I wanted to give was to create a content upgrade. I've talked about this a ton of times on my blog and then in these videos. Give people, this is great, first of all, if you sell a product or service, create a freebie that is related to what you sell that also helps your audience really quickly. So a checklist or a PDF that solves a problem for your audience really, really quickly. That's also related to your product and service, or at least what your blog is about. This allows you to get very focused, you know, the right people joining your mailing list that you actually want to talk to, that will actually be interested in what you're doing, what you're selling. And it helps them, it helps you build your credibility, and it helps your audience further, and it gets them to subscribe. Remember, the people that subscribe, Your mailing list, you own that. Your social media followers, you don't really own that. You know, Vine disappeared, or you've heard of Instagram profiles being deleted. Anything can happen. But with your email list, that is actually yours. And these people actually gave you their virtual phone number, which is huge. They're your biggest fans, your biggest ambassadors. So you really want to, help them once they click into your freebie and they're on your list. Give them some teaching lessons, give them really valuable content, help them bust some myths about your niche to really empower them or inspire them, and take them on a journey so that they get to know you, that they get to trust you, and that you're just really helping them. And eventually, if you do sell a product or service, you can put them into a funnel that, say, the 5th, 6th, or 7th email in that funnel is the pitch for what you're selling. And by then, hopefully, they trust you enough to want to buy. So if that whole content upgrade funnel thing is a bit confusing, you can subscribe to my mailing list. I do have a cheat sheet on how to set this up seamlessly and easily. You can get it up, probably take you a week or two to get it up and running fully. So I'm gonna repost this video with the link to subscribe and get all those freebies, as well as to opt into Travel Blog Prosperity. Today is the last day to join. June, we're going to be doing branding, all month, really getting focused on it. You're going to leave with your blog branding style guide for your blog that you'll be able to use for the rest of your blogging career. You'll know what you're doing, who you're talking to, what fonts you're going to use, why you're doing what you're doing. You'll have a purpose. You'll know your visuals, top to bottom. So I hope you really enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments of the video repost. Private message me, or hop over to Jessie on a Journey and send me a message through there. So, see you later. Thanks, Sandra.